particular case, we're using it as all of us being alongside one another, learning Māori, Taha Māori.
Thank you. Oh, over to you then, Cynthia.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Atamari e, morena, depending on where you come from, will depend on the terminology you use, because there are nuances in the language throughout Aotearoa, New Zealand. But I'd like to start this morning. I'm going to share the screen, so it might, for those of you who are not familiar with a shared screen, it might look a little bit funny. Tihe wa Māori ora. Ko ngā toki matawhaurua te waka. Ko ngā puhi me te rarawa te iwi. Hokianga te moana, te wahapu. Puke haua me puke huia te maunga. Tau kahawai te awa. Ko Ngāti kaharau me Ngāti hau te hapu. Ko Omanaia tōku kāinga. Te piti te marae. Ko Reg Murphy, rawa ko Morehu White o Kumatua. Nā ko Cynthia Murphy, ahau. E tua ke au ki te mihi mahana, me te mihi aroha ki a koutou. Te mea tuatahi ki ta tātou matua kaharawa. E kai homai o ngā mea katoa. Mō ngā tūpuna kua mate. Haere, haere, haere. Haere I runga I te honore me te rangi Māori e. Ngā mihi nui ki ngā rangatira me ngā kai whakamana o te roku nei. Tēnā koe, tēnā korua, tēnā koutou. Ngā nō reira, e mihi ana ki a koutou, ēnei ākonga, ēnei tauira, I wainganui I tēnei rā. Hoi anō, te pononga hoki ahau. Ka tau te rangi Māori e. Nā kua hui hui mai tātou. Tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou. Tēnā tātou katoa.
Whakarongo ake au ki te reo e tangi nei he wawatatanga mai hoki a ngā whakapau Karakia hoki a ngā whakapau Karakia ko te hia hia e hoa mā. Me hui hui mai tātou e, ki te mahi ngā mahi, ngā taonga o ngā tupuna, ngā taonga o ngā tupuna. E te tae toke rau, ho rahi a te aroha, he warahi mō te ao, mai te hiku puta noa e, mai te hiku puta noa e.
Nō reira, e te whānau a te karate. Tēnei te mihi atu ki a koutou mō tēnei wā, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Kia ora mai tātou.
So now it comes for, thank you, Cynthia. Now it comes for our turn for our introductions, and then we'll finish that up with a Waiata as well. So we were going to plan to start from the northernest people to introduce themselves, name, ministry unit and role, if that's okay. So people in the north, you would have to unmute yourself first, then talk. So furthest must be Heather. No? Heather's not. Are you going to talk, Heather?
Yes, I couldn't unmute.
Oh, okay.
I'm Heather Lindell from Russell Kuroraraka Ministry Unit. My role is a sacramental minister with special emphasis on funeral ministry.
Yeah, thank you. Val?
Ko Val Mike Taku Ingoa. I'm a sacramental minister at St. Paul's Church in Paihia.
Thank you. Paul. Mute. Unmute. I'll mute you.
Kia ora koutou, ko Paul Doherty, toku ingoa. I'm a vocational deacon at the Onarahi Manaia local shed ministry right next to the Whangarei Airport. Looking forward to today.
Iona, I think you're in some Onarahi.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Iona Edmonds aho. I'm a new member for St. Stephen's Church Council.
Great, thank you. Robin?
Kia ora katoa. I'm Robin. I'm at the Onarahi Manaia LSM. I'm the education coordinator on the ministry support team and have just taken on the role of chairing the church council as well.
Thank you. We must be coming to Titirangi people. So David?
Kia ora tātou. My name is David Crawley and I'm one of the sacramental ministers on our MST at St. Francis.
You and Sarah?
Kia ora tātou, ko Sarah Penrorden Tokyo Ingoa. I'm Sarah and I'm also involved in the local shed ministry at St. Francis and I'm a deacon. And I'm also married to David, just so people know. Good to know these things.
All right. Deborah.
Kia ora tātou, ko Deborah aho. I'm on the council for St. Francis Titirangi and I know Jacynthia from many years. I've been involved with General Synod and currently other diocesan groups such as Seasons for Growth. So it is a real pleasure to be here today. Thank you, Jacynthia.
Thank you. Okay, Tairua. Pat.
Oh, hi. I'm administrator for Tairua LSM.
Oh, I forgot Janet. Thank you. Sharon.
Good morning. I'm Sharon and I'm a priest at the St. Francis Church, Tairua.
Is Joan there or not?
Yeah.
Well, she looks...
Was he?
She is.
All right.
No, she's not.
Okay, so Joan's there, Tairua. Sorry, Jeanette, I forgot you at Te Atatu.
Oh, that's all right. I'm Jeanette Fawcett from Te Atatu and I'm the administrator.
Lovely, thank you. And Edward?
Kia ora tātou e hui mai nei tēnā ata, ko Edward Preble. I am a priest, have been for a long time. I'm the enabler at Titirangi and South Kaipara and Te Atatu.
Lovely, thank you. And of course, my role as coordinator of LSM, as well as being alongside Moku, Tuako, and Onewhero and Tairua. So that's all of us. We have lots of things in common. We all worship. We all worship God. We're all Christians. We're all in the Anglican Church. We are in partnership, Māori and Pākehā. We're all on the land of the ancestors. We all carry part of the history of that land in our places. The good, the bad and the ugly, as I'd like to think about it. But that's what it's about, and I think some of this course may help us in this. And I'm hopeful that the time that we spend together, and as we come to understand the liturgy a bit better and the reo within it, that we will become better people. So thank you all for your introductions, and we've just got Evelyn jumping on board from Te Tarangi. We're just doing introductions, Evelyn. Have you got a moment to introduce yourself? What unit you're at and just your name, really.
Te Tarangi Church, Evelyn Campbell.
Right, and you run a meditation, or part of the Christian meditation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you. Well, welcome, welcome. Okay, we'll hand over to Cynthia now, and if we can all mute. Hold on, my magic bit. I get to do our Waiata. Okay, so I'm going to test my skills here, but this should all work. So if we're all muted, and this music will play for us. All right. I think, if I get it right.
Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi Māori e tātou tātou e. Te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi Māori e tātou tātou e.
We're all still there? Yes. Oh, kia ora. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your introductions. And your reo is good. Your reo is good. You know, it's lovely to hear you just simply saying kia ora or tēnā koe. It's become normal. It's become a normal language. If you go on to breakfast at one, you know, I love it. It's just normal. It's not something that stands out anymore, let's say. And so if we can make it part of our vernacular in our everyday life, it becomes part of our normal korero in church always. So I congratulate you. Thank you for introducing yourselves. You're all muted at the moment. I'm going to share a screen. So, of course, you know, we're all getting better and better and better at technology, aren't we? Yeah. I think it's great. I love it. Okay, here we go. I can share now. Share. It's all there. Can everybody see the screens? I presume thumbs up, thumbs up. Cool. Cool. Okay, so we're basing our studies, of course, on liturgy. Most of it is on liturgy and how you're able to incorporate the liturgy of the prayer book in your ministry. And it's daunting for many, very, very daunting for many. But this module, of course, is geared at one, navigating you around the prayer book and where are the karakia that might be helpful for you in your ministry. And the more and more you do it, the easier it will become for you to think of when is the appropriate time to use it. And so if you've got your prayer books with you, I'd like you to open up your prayer books to page 154. 154 is the midday canticle, part of the midday prayer. It was written by Sir Kingi Ihaka in the 70s. And I think it was really quite an achievement to actually have it included in the prayer book. I think it's just a wonderful thing. The prayer itself, or the canticle itself, it talks about the early missionaries, the early Māori missionaries. Now, certainly for all the disciples or all those who were there on Christmas Day and the influence of Christmas Day at Oihi with Samuel Marsden and Ruatara, the canticle pays tribute to all of that work that started there. So the people mentioned within this were missionaries, were the first missionaries, certainly for Māori. So they took the word back to their pa, back to their areas, back to their rōpū, their iwi, their hapu, and they proclaimed the gospel. And these people are responsible for it. Then you'll see on the screen that I'm on our Anglican website. Oh, I was supposed to attach something into the chat box. I'm sorry, my apologies. I haven't done that. But some of you might already be familiar with our website, anglican.org.nz. Now, in here, I'm responsible for all the audio on the website through my role at the General Synod Office. But I just wanted to take you in here and just guide you into where you can find the Māori resources at present. So, of course, you've got the prayer book here, and many of you would already know. And just above it, in the popular topics on the right-hand side, are the worship resources Karakia. Click on here. You'll see on your left-hand side in the menus, Te Reo Māori Worship Resources. Now, in here is a huge, huge amount of resources available for you. And I'll give you a taste of Kingi Ihaka. So I've clicked on that and it's come to the page where all the resources sit. But Kingi Ihaka is up here, page 154. And I'd just like you to listen to him for a moment. It's sung really, really fast. Don't be daunted by that. At some stage during our Taha Māori sessions, I'd like to teach this to you. It's a chant. So just listen to Kingi himself singing it.
But first, Archdeacon Sir Kingi Ihaka chants the poi, which he wrote and is found in the Canticles for Midday Prayer on page 154.
Kia mau, titiro he ngai wi te kapu takuringa he taonga tēnei nā ngā tūpuna he poi, he poi, he poi, hei. Poi puritia, poi takawiri tau patu patu, tau patu patu, tau patu patu ko te tau. Patu patu taku poi, ka rere taku poi, rere tika atu ana kātau ki ngā pui. Kei reira te toka, kei rangi houa, kei o ihira, ko te toka tēnā, i paua i hoa i te rongo paira e kamau. Hei whakakloria, te atu i runga lawa ka mau te rongo ki ao te aroa, tēnā anō rā ko ana pura pura i rui ara i roto i ngā iwi, ka tupu ka hua e hua nei. Piti rawa atu koe ki a rau kaua koro tawai toa hei mātā mua kei roto wanganui ko te tauri. Ka tae ngā rongo ki ngā tiru anui ko mani he rara ko kere opa hoki. I whakamatea nei mō te whakapono e kātau. Ka rere taku poi ki te teira whiti kei rere ngaki ana ko taumata kura kei mātā tua ko ngā kukura kei te arawa ko i haiwa. Kei roto ka humunu ko te werara e te wera. Ka tuhi ka rapa kauira te rangi tuiho nei e toi a te waka. Te utanga horunga ko te aroha paihere tia mai te rangi Māori e aue hei.
That was easy, eh? You'll be able to do all of that by the time we finish Taha Māori. Yeah, that's a very, very fast version of this canticle. It's almost identical to the English translation on the right-hand side. Oh, almost, but that's something I'll talk about a little later on, maybe in session 3 or session 4, around the translation, like the 476, for instance, is something that's it's not actually transliteral. It's not literal, but and it's quite a beautiful. Māori speak in poetry. We come from an oral background, and so everything is told in a story, and it's quite lovely. Some of it can be a bit long with some of our speakers, but certainly we do enjoy telling the story in a different way, and it's no different with liturgy. When the Prayer Book Commission was operating, they didn't have any Māori at all on the Prayer Book Commission. And so Māori said, oh, well, we'll just write our own book. We'll just write our own because you guys aren't going to be able to cater for us, which was interesting. It brought about a reaction from the Prayer Book Commission at that time, and they did end up putting 3 Māori on the commission. Now there's only one living, and that's Ben Tahara, Bishop Ben Tahara, up in the north there in Kaihia. He's the only living Māori person from the Prayer Book Commission. So it was through, in the wisdom of having those people on the Prayer Book Commission, that they were able to then be guided. The Prayer Book Commission were able to be guided. No, we don't translate just word for word for word for word underneath. We tell it differently. We say it differently. So if you want our inclusion, you need to allow us to do our real in the way that we naturally do it. So that's an interesting thing about the liturgies. Now on our website, you'll see There are many other resources on here. So there's King Ihaka's canticle. These are all oral or audio. It took a long time to get them up on the website. I'm the first Māori, by the way, to be employed by the General Synod Office. I've been working there now for 3 years. Part of the initiative was to have someone Māori in the office to help guide, to support the work of the General Secretary, and to support the work of often, let's say, Pākehā are more engaged in policies and canons and rules and statutes, and I have to say that Māori kind of disengage from it. So it was in the wisdom of General Synod Standing Committee, they thought it would be good to have a Māori person in there. So it was quite an honour and blessing to be here, because I'm a woman as well. So in Māoridom, of course, generally it's quite patriarchal. So to be a woman and a Māori in the General Synod Office, advising as much as possible, has been a huge benefit to Māori and to General Synod, hopefully. So as a result of my work, all the audios that were ever in archives, a lot of these were in archives, they were on the old monologue tapes. So I dug them out of the Kinder library and had them all digitised, and here they are. So we've got the full 404 there. I'll just play the introduction because you'll be intrigued by who's doing it.
To take us through the Maori language options in Thanksgiving of the People of God, beginning on page 404 of the new prayer book, here's Archdeacon Ben Tehara, Mere Mere Penfold, Te Miringa Wynyard, and David and Tureti Moxon. To take us through the Maori language options in Thanksgiving.
So that was before David Moxon became a bishop, and that was before Ben Tehara became bishop. So these recordings were done very early, in the 70s, roundabout. Edward, you may be familiar with the recordings. It was from the L-Kit, Eucharistic Liturgy kit. And so it went from monologue, it's been digitised, and now it's available on our website. I only uploaded them last year. So I'm really excited. You've got David Moxon, Ben Tehara doing the 404. There it is in its full form. You can see my mouse. And all these other ones here, I've broken them down into bite-sized chunks so that if you were just, say, wanting to do, say, the 476, for instance, if you were just wanting to do the beginning or the, you can just play it over and over and over and over and over again. I'll open it up so that you can hear it.
In this next track, Archdeacon Ben Tehara reads the full Maori Diglot Eucharist beginning on page 476 of the new prayer book.
E te whānau a te karaiti, ko tātou nei tōna tinana, e mahi nei te ao, nau mai, haere mai, i tōna hure watapu, e mihi ana kia koutou kua karangatia nei hei tote, hei māramatanga mo te ao, i roto i tō koutou tohinga, kia koa, kia hari, whakamoe mititia te atua te kaiho mai o te tūmanako, te kaiho hou i te rongo.
And you'll see, because of your books, that you can actually then just go over it and over it and over it and over it until you get it. So it's a good practice tool for people who aren't using it in their ministries currently. So all of these have been broken down into bite-sized chunks. You've got the 404, any of the Māori parts in the in the 404 service is here in audio, done by Ben Taha and David Moxon. Also the 476, which is dialogue, as you know. And they're chanting it, it's chanted all the way through, which is still very, very, very much how it's delivered in all Māori churches throughout Aotearoa. They chant it. And the most recent introduction has been the 499. That was missing. In your prayer book, you'll see the 499 doesn't have an English translation. And somewhere along the line in our modules, I will unpack the 499 for you. I will say this much. The 499 was based on Marae protocol. And by Marae protocols, many of you will already know, you arrive at a marae, there's a karanga, there's a pōwhiri, there's a mihi, there's a kōrero, there's a hariru or sharing, and then there's a confession. So its structure is based on the Marae protocol, the 499. Now the 499, just play this a little bit for you, was recorded by 2 Karakia bishops.
The Eucharistic Liturgy, Ngā Te Whānau a Te Karaiti, from pages 499 to 510 of a New Zealand prayer book, He Karakia Mihingare o Aotearoa, was developed by the Reverend Maori Marsden and others, basing it on Te Kaua o Te Marae, the protocols of the Marae.
Anyone recognise that voice? I'm sorry, I know you haven't got your microphones open. That's Bishop Hori, we call him Hori, or George, Bishop George Connor, and Emeritus Archbishop John Patterson. So 2 Pākehā bishops did this complete recording, which is absolutely beautiful. And I very proudly let Māori know, oh, 2 Pākehā bishops did this recording, by the way.
Ti hei Māori ora, ki te hei ao ki te ao marama. Maranga, hakati aho, kua tai mai tau maramatanga. Ko mai angi te korore o te atua ki a koe. Ko hui mai ngā iwi ki tō maramatanga. Kia matara, tirohi atu, kei te hui mai te nuinga, kei te hokeke. E ho wā, ko wai e tomo ki tō hare tapu, ko wai hoki e peki ki tō maunga tapu.
So that's a little insight for you on what's available on our website in terms of the liturgy. So even though we're having a weekly gathering in this way, what I can offer you is a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff. Some of the history around the reo, some of the intent of the reo in the liturgy. But what the website offers you is tools by which you can practice. So if there was a part of your ministry that you wanted to do yourself in Te Reo Māori, you've just got to pick it out. You've just got to select it from your book first. It's all paginated on the website. Just go to the website, play it, and practice it. And then when you have your service, you can go from English to Māori, from Māori back to English. And that's what the whole thing was all about, was to equip people, particularly Pākehā. But hey, there's many Māori that don't use the language either. And they certainly don't know the liturgy. And they haven't got a rhythm. They don't have the rhythm going. And many of you already know that in services, in Sunday services, there's a rhythm. Whether it's in English or whether it's in Māori. We have this rhythm thing going on. And so even though Māori speak Māori, they may not necessarily be familiar with the liturgy. So I'll just take us back to so you've heard the midday canticle. on page 154. You can listen. That's a very fast version, I know. And we'll break it down in a module, in another module in the future. I'll help you with it. We'll slow it right down. These are all the Māori liturgies that are available in the prayer book. And many people don't even know, including Māori, they don't even know it's there. Prayer book is a huge resource. When I first started in ministry as a Karakia, I used to take a whole bag, a big bag, full of resources with me, books, Bibles, paipera tapu, and all sorts of things. 15, 16 years later now, I only take a prayer book. I don't need anything else. So it's something that I tell Māori as well. You don't need all that stuff. You only need the prayer book for ministry out in the field. So there's all the pastoral ministries, funerals, house blessings, unveilings. They're the most common in Māoridom. And of course baptisms, marriage, and in various other places you'll know that there are little bits and pieces which are really, really helpful for ministry. The grace, for instance, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit. It's never been in the prayer book in Māori. It's now there in Māori. It's not yet on the online version, but I just sent the files off to China, Amity Printing, for the reprint of the new prayer book. So new prayer books will be available from the General Synod Office by the end of the year, and it will have all the updates in it, all the sentences and collects for all years A, B, and C have been translated. The Polynesian languages have been included for 404, 476. And that one little verse in the grace is now available in Te Reo Māori. So that's really, really cool. Really cool. 489 and 509, of course, are all the, these two belong to the 476 service and the 499 service. Now, Karanga kaihapa, as you will know, is when we call them up for communion. If you could turn to those pages. Now, the prayer book does, normally that karanga or that welcome or invitation is usually done by the priest. There's nothing that restricts it to the priest only. No one's told me that it's restricted to priests only. It just so happens that the priest happens to be, up at the altar, and it just follows on. But Māori don't practice it that way when they do the karanga, So on page 489, where it says the pōhiri, come God's people, come to receive Christ's heavenly food. The priest normally says that. If I was doing it in English, I would just do it myself as a priest. But if I was following a Māori protocol, which I might do at Holy Tipuka, and maybe at Te Karakia up in Kamo, and I was following a Māori protocol, I might invite one of the readers or the liturgist to actually do this in a kara. And it goes like this. Haere mai, haere mai, te kahui a te atua. Haere mai, tangohia e nei karangatira. A te karaiti, haere mai, haere mai, haere mai. So that's how you might do a karanga kaihapa. Now, some of you, if you were at the gathering that we had as a full plenary, as a full LSM, the conference we had, you remember I did the morning and evening Karakia. You remember I did a recording of the karanga. We were calling in all the canoe, all the waka. And so it's the same. It's the same tone. Now, if you wanted to have I mean, there's plenty of YouTubes out there for the sound that you're looking for. You've also heard me say a couple of more haere mais than actually is in the book. But a karanga construct hardly ever changes. Haere mai, haere mai, haere mai e te kāhui a te atua, haere mai. So that's the first part of it. Then you give a little bit more description. What are you haere mai-ing me for? Haere mai ki te tanguhia e nei kairanga tira te karaiti. Haere mai, haere mai. So you put a nuance on the kupu, and the only nuance really is that you're saying haere mai just a few more times, because you turn it into a karanga rather than just saying haere mai e te kāhui a te atua, tangohia e nei kairanga tira a te karakia. You can do that too. But in this particular case, and I'm going to send you away into some breakout rooms very shortly, to practice that little karanga on page 489. And of course, there's another one on page 509, which is longer, but we'll learn that a little bit further down the track. The other thing I wanted you to be aware of too is the Waiata pages. Māori Waiata pages in our prayer book on pages 174. Tamanako Māori. Some of you may already know that one. And page 177. Māori Māori. They're very, very common himene, sung by Māori at many occasions. Eucharist, tangi, you name it, we sing it. They're the two most commonly used himene throughout Māori. I'll just take you through Māori Māori, and you may know it, so that when we close today, we'll close with this Waiata. And we'll open up all the microphones and you can join in and we'll sing it as one. But you may already know it. I don't have a very good voice, but I'll do my best. kapuha generally brings people to tears, particularly in Taha. And is that where we were going to go? No, we were going to go into breakout rooms. So let me just stop there for a moment. I know we've got 15 minutes left on our clock. I think 10 minutes left on our clock. Shall we give me a gauge? If we open up all the microphones, please, Megan. Certainly we'll go in and we'll ask you, let's go to some part-time questions. And if you want to go into, what I was planning was to send you into a breakout room so that you can at least get up and walk around and stand in front of your camera. And if you want to do this, you can. By the way, karanga is not done by just women, gentlemen, who are here with us. In Ngāpuhi, men do karanga as well. But if you went to Waikato, so it's not the same everywhere, but because we belong to Tautokero, men karanga as well. At both ends, both sides. So, so the karanga kaihapa, of course, being the hahi, not marae, this is hahi, the church. It's very, very, very acceptable for men to do the karanga. They wouldn't do it in the same pitch, of course. But let's go to some questions. Does anybody have any questions for me about what we've learned so far? Or do you want to go away in a room, or do you want to stand up with me and do the karanga? Stand up with me? Yes. Yes, Val.
I was just wondering, it was a beautiful Karakia or hymn, but no translation, and I'm so pretty ignorant. And
do you want to unpack the translation? Okay. Okay. All right. I can do that. It's Mate Māori is all about peace. Māori is peace. So it actually, and it acknowledges the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in its verses. So you know, it's a hymn that brings Mate Māori e te atua, so the peace of God, tātou katoa e tiaki, hold us and keep us. Mana ano e whakau, so that we can go, keep going, or tātou ngākau ki te pai, to do good works of the heart. Mā te atua tamaiti rā, that's the sun. Mā te wairua tapu hoki and the Holy Spirit. Rātou atua kotahi nei are one. Tātou katoa e whakapai makes us whole, makes us right, puts us in the right place, in the right space. And that's how simple the translation is.
Thank you.
It's a translation of peace.
Thank you.
Do you want to go away and try the karanga?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to stand up? Shall we stand up here and do it together?
Yes. Yeah, I think we stand up and do it with you together.
Okay.
Yeah. You can mute yourselves if you want to.
So we're on page, if you remember.
489.
177.
489, was it?
489, that's right. Page 489.
Oh.
So let me start with the first couple of haere mai. So we'll go. Haere mai, haere mai. Go.
Haere mai, haere mai.
Yep. And so we'll put those two with the whole thing. Haere mai, haere mai, haere mai te kahui a te atua. Haere mai. Try that.
Haere
mai.
Haere mai. E te kahui a te atua. Haere
Yeah. How's it feeling? Does it feel awkward? Does it feel uncomfortable? Shall we do it again, that line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ready? Toru a.
Haere mai. Haere mai. Haere mai. E te kahui o te atua. Haere mai.
And so to move on to the other next line, you still have to say haere mai. And what are you haere mai to? So the two words kite, which I'm going to throw in, means to. Tio, to. Haere mai ki te tango ia e nei kai rangatira a te karaiti. So it's all very monotone. Follow it, so come along with me. Haere mai ki te tango ia e nei kai rangatira a te karaiti. Yep.
Haere mai.
Yeah, and then you finish with that haere mai. So let's do that second line again. So it's haere mai ki te. Toru fa. Haere mai ki te tango ia e nei kai
Rangatira a te karaiti.
Haere mai. Sorry, I said that to her. I should have said karaiti. Okay. When I go toru fa, that means 3, 4. So, toru fa.
Haere mai ki te tango hia e te rangatira haere mai.
I'm really liking the sound. The sound, your pitch, you know, the lilt. There's a lilt in our karanga, and I'm pretty sure you already know that. Doesn't matter where you go in Aotearoa. The karanga has this wonderful lilt. Haere mai ki te tango hia e nei kai a te karaiti. You know, so if you can maintain that, you're all choir singers.
Years ago.
So if you can maintain that, hold that note. I know there's a dip. Haere, haere, haere mai ki te tango hia e nei kai rangatira a te karaiti. Haere mai. So the secret is that you don't have to try and fit all of those words in one breath. So you've heard me go haere mai ki te tango hia e nei kai rangatira, and I've held it there. Beautiful. It'll give people goosebumps, I promise you. It'll give them goosebumps. Because so far, all we've said is come and eat the food of the greatest. Rangatira. That's as far as we've got. And then we go, a te karaiti. And that's got its own goosebumps. So, anybody want to give it a go on their own? Is anyone brave enough to do it on their own? Anyone want to put their hand up and give it? Hey, Megan, can you put someone's hand up for them? Are you in control? You can put their hand up. Oh yes. Okay. Who put their hand up? One of our gentlemen.
Edward did, but he's on mute.
He is on mute. Unmute yourself, Edward. You're still on mute, so it might be you, Megan. You're still on mute.
Well, if I can have a turn on mute, I'll do it too.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to do it on mute.
Here you go. He's on.
Here we go. Go, Edward.
Okay, you ready now?
Yeah.
Aere mai e te kahui a te atua. Aere mai ki te tanohia e ne kai rangatira a takaraiti. Aere mai.
Lovely. Mahi Tikana. That's really good. Really good. And the more and more you do it, the easier it'll flow. And you'll see that Edward's done it in the breath that feels comfortable for him. But I sort of don't want you to think that you've got to fit one line all in one breath. Just take a pause where you think it's okay. Haere mai te kahui, that's fine. Hold it. Take a breath. Aotearoa, take a breath. Haere mai. And then haere mai, and so on. Anyone else want to have a go?
I'll have a go.
Okay, Heather. Thank you.
Haere mai, haere mai, e te kahui a te atua. Haere mai, tanohia e ne kai rangatira, a te karaiki. Haere mai.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That was well done, Heather. Well done. Is that the first time you've done a karanga?
A karanga. No, I haven't done karanga before, but I have done a bit of reo.
Oh, lovely. Well done. Well done. Oh, David's worked out how to put his hand up. Oh, no. He's clapped. That was a clap. Yeah, that was really well done, Heather. You've got a lovely voice too, and you've got that lilt. That lilt. See, when you hear the lilt, it really is lovely. Sarah's got her hand up. Oh. Oh, you've got to be careful when you put your hand up. You'll get given a karanga.
I think she's waving.
Yes, she is. Are you waving goodbye? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sarah, for coming. Yes, it's 11 o'clock, I know. Thank you for coming. So that is a insight into, you know, some of the stuff that we'll learn. But let me just go back here and we'll finish up with... Was there any other questions anybody wanted to ask me? Yes, Edward.
Yeah, just unpacking what you were saying before about who might do that that karanga, and yes, you could certainly have the liturgist or somebody doing that, and I could see that working. But from your point of view, would it be perfectly appropriate from a Maori point of view for the celebrant, the president, the priest gets to that particular point? If we do in English up until that point, suddenly launch into that that pōwhiri, that karanga, that would be perfectly appropriate for the priest.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, obviously, we've got to decide whether our Pākehā congregations could cope.
Yes, of course. Yes,
but
of course.
From a Maori point of view, it'd be quite appropriate for the priest.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You may use it at any time. It's in the prayer book. It's used at the right time. You know what it means. It's a karanga for kaihapa. And so if you want to apply it in your context for a karanga to kaihapa, you go through it. I think that's great. It's fun. I introduced it a couple of times at our parish, and they got goosebumps. But I've also chanted the Great Thanksgiving on 4/7/7, sung it all the way through on special occasions, maybe the patronal or something like that. and they love it. So I hear what you're saying, Edward, about you know, being the right time, but certainly it is appropriate in our prayer book. But oh yes, that's what I wanted to. So have you got that Māori Māori opened up? If we leave just the microphones open, please. We're going to finish up straight after this. And let's sing Māori Māori together. Just the first verse, if you don't mind. Would someone like to start it for us? I might not have the right note. Okay. So, Māori And now when the new pre-book comes out, the Māori version of the grace will be on page 52. It's not there now, so you'll need the screen. So let us say together the grace in Māori. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa. Kia tātou o tātou ariki o iu karati. Me aroha autatua me te inga pakitanga ki te waiata ake arotapu ake amen. Lovely. And so next week, if you come back, we'll start learning to sing the affirmations of faith. And you may have heard them sung. I'll just give you just a very, very, very quick insight. Te tikanga whakapono Māori, that's the most common one in Māoridom. Ko koe te atua tapu te yes. So, and I think that may have actually been your songbook as well. Yeah. And the other one is, that's a much longer one, on page 496. That's the Apostles' Creed. That one goes, just to give you an insight. This is a haka, and it's, well, we do it either as a mō te or a haka, and it's beautiful when it's done interactively with men and women. E whakapono ana aho ki te atua ki te matua kahara wa koe a te kaihanga o te rangi o te whenua. Ki tana tama kotahi anō hoki ki tō tātou ariki ki a ihu karaiti. Beautiful when it's done and you have the men coming in, you know, kaharawa. Kaha means strong. The men come in and they really belt it out. So we'll start working on those two affirmations in faith next week. So we'll be able to stand up and move around and be a little bit more interactive, particularly if you already know he tikanga whakapono, that's good. Because the best way to really do a real big chant is to actually stand up and use the diaphragm, as you know. Any choir singers would know that, any singers would know that. So, nō reira e te whānau, o tēnei roku, o te karakia. Tēnei te mihi atu ki a koutou, pai ki te kite a koutou mō tēnei wā. E mihi atu ki a koe Megan, mō tō whakaro ki te wainga nui a Tāka, te akonga te Taha Māori, mō LSM. So thanks very much for coming along. I hope it's been a little bit helpful to you this week. It's because of our introductions we had to squeeze a little bit in today. But next week we don't have to do as many introductions except for those who didn't come this week. So Megan, I hand it back to you.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Jacinta. That was great. If anyone's got any questions during the week, you know, just fire them through to me and Jacinta can address them next time. So yeah, any questions or anything that you think we might cover, or, you know, any feedback from the session, that would be appreciated. So thank you for that, and you may all sign off now.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacinta.